Raider personnel.
Raiders. In your heart, in your living room, in your after dark nightmares. Raiders.
Hey, what's going on? We are back. Guess what? Max Crosby has got his extension. He's a rich man now.
Very rich, 90 plus million rich, almost fully guaranteed contract.
Almost,
but well deserved.
Almost. It looks great.
Well deserved.
Yes.
Well
deserved. Exactly. A leader of the team. This signifies that he is the embodiment of the Raiders right now, man. He is the reason.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know if you heard in the interview, they asked both the coach and Spytek, why was it important to get this deal done? And in my opinion, this sets the tone for the rest of the team. This sets the, hey, everybody, this is how hard you have to work. Yeah. Okay, this is how you have to look every Sunday. Right. You know what I mean? So, I mean, what do you think? Let me know. What's the?
I mean, I think this had to happen no matter what. There was no way you can have him coming in with with no guaranteed money, and he is your leader. Like, this is the guy. This is the Raiders. Until we get the franchise quarterback, he is the franchise. Yeah. And then, like you said, it just sets everybody up. It's like, yeah, we'll take care of our guys. And then, Spytek, he did a really good job on like the layout of the contract. All our heavy cap hits are going to be the next 2 years, which is the years we have the most money. Right. If we somewhere we do get a quarterback, we can put years later on. And then, for worst case scenario, God forbid it happens, if we're still not going nowhere, it's a lot easier to trade that contract. And, when you trade in a contract with less money on it, you can definitely, get some good draft
other pieces. Yeah.
Yeah. Right, but, obviously, the goal is to never get there,
Exactly. No, I hear you. So, yeah, I mean, you're right. It seems like it's a fair contract, especially for this guy who comes in and out and dedicates his love for the team. Talks about he's, meant to be a Raider. You don't hear that shit. So, exactly. Props to him.
And then hearing those numbers, when you think about it, you're gonna the Nick Bosa's, the Myles Garrett, in those years, those guys are gonna be making 40 million, 35 million, 50 million. So it's like, the way they set up that contract, it was really, really good. And to be honest, the way Max Crosby plays all out every single play, that realistically, that's not gonna give you a long career, because you're wearing your body out. It's kind of like JJ Watt. JJ Watt put his body on the line every single time, and he couldn't play longer than other ones that could play because he was given everything. So, but seeing that extension, I mean, I don't know where our cap is right now, but there's other ends. Other players can see that, like, yeah, man, the Raiders are a different team. They're taking care of him. Crosby's there. We don't have to worry about him leaving. We have a great, amazing leader, and he's going to definitely set the tone. So it was a great thing. I think we talked about, was it last week or a couple of weeks ago? Like, we got to see the extension coming in the next few weeks. Like, it's not gonna go later on. Like, they're gonna take care of him.
Yeah, no, they had to, right? Like I mentioned,
that's our guy.
Was like this. Oh yeah, this has to be the tone, right? It makes sense. Yeah. It does. And then on top of that, what about the other pieces? Yeah, no, this sets for the other pieces, all right? The defensive line that we want, similar to the Eagles, where they rush with just 4, no blitzing. This will set the tone. You get Kuntz in here, you get Wilkinson, obviously. If we can get Kuntz back, or even the way Patrick Graham sets up that D-line. I mean, they played pretty decently last year. It wasn't a horrible D-line. So.
I mean, for all the injuries, man, come on. Like our 2 DNs and our starting tackles out for most of the season. I mean, Crosby missed 5 games, but that's 5 games that's a lot. Him missing 1 game is a lot, and then you're talking about 5. And then Christian Wilkinson's our biggest offseason acquisition. We're missing him for a good chunk. I think Kuntz, I feel like, was the biggest.
He only played like 2 games, dude.
Yeah, Kuntz, he
like 2
that
to 5
was it.
games,
He played the preseason, and Kuntz was done.
Yeah, Kuntz.
Like, it was like the first week we were like, oh, he's going to be on the PUP list. I was like, damn, 6 weeks, okay, but 6 weeks he'll be back and ready to go. Yeah, I think it was like week 4 or 5. They were like, yeah, no, he's done for the season. and I was like,
Man.
wow, that was a crush. So yeah, I mean, look, there's a chance that we might not even sign like some of the free agents we have that we're missing. So they're they're gonna be
Yeah, no.
bringing in players that probably haven't reached their prime yet, and for them they're like, okay, I could take this contract because I know they'll pay me if I'm doing my part. Like they just took care of Max. So yeah,
They
it's
took
it's good
Isaiah
for
too. They took care
yeah
of Isaiah
Isaiah Mao, yeah,
Polamau. So,
yeah,
that means, yeah, you're right. They may
yeah,
not sign Trayvon. They may not, you know what I mean? They might feel like
right. They
he can
man,
be let
yeah,
go.
yeah, because I mean it's yeah, because I don't think I mean we didn't use the franchise tag. So and from what
Right.
I've heard, there's other teams that have a lot of interest. So if I was their agent, I'll tell them like, hey, just wait, you get a bigger offer.
Yeah.
Same thing with Spillane, and Spillane's 29, so he's trying to get the biggest one he can get. It was probably his final like multi-year contract. Morig, young dude, he wants to get paid. You know,
Yeah.
he definitely improved a lot, and I've heard a lot of other teams that want him, so he
Right.
might get a pretty good paycheck. But maybe that brings Kuntz back. If we bring Kuntz back, I'm happy. Me, I've raved about Kuntz. He was the one that I thought was going to make the difference on
Yeah.
our D line. So if we bring him back, I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
But yeah, pay our guys. Let's find a quarterback, and then pieces are going to start falling in. Brock
Yeah.
Bowers a
No, there's
big
still
piece.
time.
Max Crosby. We got it. We got
Yeah.
pieces. So
There's still
yeah,
time to sign these free agents, and there's still, that room for getting these free agents that are from other teams. And there's guys being dropped from teams. Joey Bosa just got let go by the
yeah.
Chargers. I mean, that's a good little piece right there we can add. I know
Oh
he's an
yeah.
injury prone guy, but you got on top of that, you got Khalil. He's a free agent. They might sign him now that Bosa's gone. But
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
these are
I
guys that
mean,
are veterans, but they can add to the team. And you noticed that last year, a lot of young players got a chance on the
yeah.
defense, and they can learn from
Oh
players like Joey or from Khalil,
yeah.
and
Oh yeah.
of course Max. Right. So,
And we can make them rotation pieces.
right.
Let's say we do bring back Coons. And now you're gonna have Coons and Khalil or Coons and Joey rotating. Boom, boom,
Yeah.
boom. Like
Right.
you can't tell me that ain't
That
worth
would be
it.
sick.
That'd be sick. And
Yeah.
yeah, I would definitely like Khalil because bring back former Raider. The nostalgia is
Yeah.
there. But
I still got
yeah,
his
I'm okay
jersey.
with either or. Yeah, I see. Yeah, I see. Bring him back so Matt can wear the jersey again. But
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
that's
yeah.
right.
I
Yeah.
mean, I would definitely bring him in. I mean, you're gonna learn from two different types of DNs. Crosby and the
Right.
Khalil or Crosby and the Joey. You can learn a lot from that. So yeah, that'll be insane.
Right.
But they'll
Right.
probably want to go to a playoff team. Who knows?
Which is us, damn it. This is the
Yeah,
playoff team
we should
now.
be. We
I
should
think it
be.
is. I think it's got to be. We still have the draft. We still have the
Yeah.
combine.
Hmm.
We looked at that over this past weekend. What stood out to you on that? Any players you have in mind? I mean, I know that
Man.
for the most part, right? The quarterback situation
Yeah.
where our guys Sander or Cam didn't even participate. But then there
Yeah.
was Emil Rowe that stood out, and then
Hmm.
that's about it as far as in the
Yeah.
quarterback position, right?
Yeah. Because Will Howard did horrible. Like he did really bad. So
Mm-hmm.
he's got to definitely make it up for with his pro day. But I definitely liked Jade Barron, the defensive back. I thought like I would want to get him in the second round if we
Yeah,
passed on Travis or the other guy. Um, just because, but I've lately been seeing him climbing, and he might be like the second corner off of the board. So I
who's this
really
again?
like him. Jade Barron,
Oh yeah,
Texas.
yeah, yeah,
He's a
JD.
corner.
Yeah,
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 yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I
Yep,
liked
yep.
him a
He
lot.
stood out.
So yeah, I definitely would have picked him. But in the end, I definitely also liked T Mac, what he was talking about, with
Yeah,
the Raiders and what he can do, and and we definitely need that. He can be a one. He can be a one with his size, his speed, his catching radius in the
yeah.
end zone. Yeah, he could be a 10 touchdown guy. So those are the two I still want to go with. That especially Jetty Barron. You think he ran like a 4.39? That's pretty good. That's pretty good for a corner. You
Yeah,
definitely,
yeah,
once they
that's pretty
start
good.
going a little bit more faster, you
He's kind
start
of short though,
giving up his
5'10".
strength. I think he might be able to play slot. You know what I'm saying? We get rid of us.
Yeah,
I mean, just because we might not bring Nate Hobbs back. If we go out and we sign
yeah,
another corner, we bring him in and he could play
yeah.
the slot, man that up. Then we could be set with them. But yeah, those are pretty much it. Like the big disappointment of the quarterbacks, besides Milrow, Milrow just killed it with the interviews. Like it
With
was
the
just
interviews,
so
yeah,
good. Yeah, like just the way he was
yeah.
representing himself. He was not afraid to say his shortcomings. Just because he was
He
like,
didn't
I
keep
know how it
saying,
is.
he didn't keep saying, "Well, my dad did it," and
Right?
you
He's
keep
like, I'm
hating
not
on
a good
him, and
change of cultures. Yeah, right. He's standing on his own two
I
feet.
heard that shit. Look, man, that was like, wait a minute,
Yeah,
Sanders, you can't go to your dad every time, man. Like, you know what I mean? You can't say
exactly.
you did things in college that haven't been done. Sure, people had less expectation of what you
Yeah,
did in college, but it
that's for
doesn't
sure.
transfer that necessarily all into the NFL. So, you know what I mean? I was hoping I could hear less of that kind of crap. And sure, his dad wasn't at the combine, and I think for a reason,
Yeah,
because
right.
it's gonna hurt him. And then, but yeah, he
Yeah,
still brings it around. And there was a lot of comments he made with interviews that I was like, man, when he was asked about Hunter, exactly, humble,
yeah.
and he was asked about Hunter, and he just really didn't come up with an answer. He was like, Hunter's Hunter,
Wow.
man. I know everything about Hunter, but he couldn't emphasize or
All right.
have something
Couldn't
that
put like
stood
a
out.
whole football
And that
to it.
just tells
Yeah,
me that what's up with that team, yeah, like a team
yeah.
chemistry. You know what I mean? That team chemistry. I think you need a little more of that,
hmm
but.
I mean,
That's
look,
minor shit, not necessarily important.
but he's always had Travis Hunter. That's what's crazy. Like since he's been playing football, he's always had his dad, and he's had Travis Hunter all the way up to college career. So that's the other thing. Like, how's he gonna act
Yeah.
without having them there? It's like where you gonna, and that's the other thing. I was like, I wish he was more humble. It's like I
Yeah.
love confidence. I love saying like, yeah, I've had
Right.
no problem him saying like, I'm coming. I've changed programs. I can do that. But I would love him to add like, we're good to my
Right.
teammates. Well, we'll do this with my teams. We'll make an offense better. We'll grow it. That's what I wanted to hear. But he just kept like brushing off
Right.
questions that they were questioning him. There's one GM said that the whole time throughout the whole process of interviewing him, he just seemed like he didn't care. Like it was like, I mean, it was obviously he probably didn't want to play for that team. But it was
Yeah.
just more of like, yeah, I'm just here. I play football, blah blah blah. I'm just like, yeah, I can't
Yeah.
have that for what we're trying to build. The culture we're trying to build with Pete and all
Right.
that is like we can't have that. I don't know if he's just too cocky, thinking, "Oh, I'm gonna get drafted. I don't really need to try." And during these process,
Exactly.
not saying he's gonna try when he actually becomes a quarterback, but this is the part where you got to show the teams like, "Hey, I'm the guy you want." You know what I'm saying? Like I'm sure the Raiders have like
Right.
4 or 5 people that they really want, and you got to try to stand out. We need a lot of help, not just quarterbacks.
Yeah. Stand out.
So
Exactly.
yeah, I mean Brady's
Exactly.
already working with AOC, so I feel like they're preparing in case Sanders is not the guy or he gets drafted before we get him. So we'll see.
Yeah. No. And what is this? I mean, Milrow before the combine, his hand measured 8 inches and a third. At the combine, his hand measured 9 inches and a third. So it grew 1 inch, bro.
Yeah, he must be using some kind of increase in size cream that he only puts on his hands.
Is it the
You
pump?
know, is it the pump? He's pumping his fingers.
I'm just saying.
My
But if it
palms stay
works,
the
it
same
works.
size, but my fingers, bro. Yeah, I mean, I gotta start doing it. I need bigger hands. Hey,
just
Mac, my hands went from 8 inches to 10.
I gave you a thumbs up, and
Yeah, oh yeah, it's gonna be more like
Exactly.
Yeah, that's. I mean, he needs it.
If he's a running quarterback, damn right he needs it, man.
You need bigger hands. Yeah, you need bigger hands, man. You need bigger hands because I've seen like pictures of him. It's hard to see when they're during the gameplay when they're running with the ball, but when you get a photo of them running with the ball, you can see like his hands was barely holding it was like this. I'm like, yeah, that's ready to fall out of your hands. Especially like a rainy, weather day. Like, the hands slipping out of your hands like butter.
Yeah, exactly. And Jackson Dart. I mean, I didn't hear too much about him. I know he participated. He did what everyone expected him to do, which is perform well. Yeah, I didn't hear anything on interviews. I didn't see too many on the interviews. What did you hear? Did you hear anything on that?
No, I mean, I don't know if you want how you want to take it. I take it as not good. You want something whether it was good or bad. Because if you're just like, well, he showed up, you did everything what I expected. It's like, damn, that's what you don't want from a quarterback. You want him to wow you, show you something that you couldn't do. So and then Will Howard, that was a whole shit show.
That was a disappointment.
So that's why it's got to be the Milrow or. I don't really follow too much of the college, football to say like who's a sleeper pick and stuff like that. But those aren't the guys. AOC is the guy. Next year's supposed to be a better draft. Let's get weapons. Let's build for the next quarterback. If it ain't, AOC.
Right. And then you mentioned he was working with. Yeah, he's been working with Tom, or at least.
So he's been watching videos with Tom Brady, watching defenses, watching schemes. What he sees whenever a player or on the defensive side does certain things. AOC has been building muscle. He said that he's been working out a lot more, lifting weights because he obviously recognized that he has been injured and he hasn't been available. So he wants to take that away. So all of that, man. AOC has a cannon. From my understanding, Tom Brady told him like you can make every throw in the NFL that needs to be made. So, if he's telling him how to see it, how to give it to your receivers, when you see the receiver doing this on the corner where you should put it, and AOC's a smart dude. Like, he has that composure, which is really good. If he can just like keep it where he doesn't have to run out the pocket and just like make decisions beforehand, like, he sees the play, opening up before it happens, he can do a lot of damage. I'm not saying he's going to be like one of these guys that like, all right, put the offense on his shoulder, take us down. But if you get him weapons, we can do some damage. We can make the playoffs. We can surprise some people. And then once we get to, the AFC championship, it's up to, it's pretty much luck from there, health, everything, the ball lands on your way, pass rush, all that, matters. So yeah, I'm okay. If we don't get Shador, or if we don't get a quarterback, like, like a franchise quarterback, I'm okay with it. I'm okay as long as, there's a plan in place. Because that Shador Sanders interview, it definitely turned me off. Well, it didn't get me like more excited. It was just like,
right. You're just like, man, I don't know the chemistry, right? You want again, Spytek has emphasized he wants people that fit in to the mold of the team, to the character of the team. So that's gonna play a part.
Ball players, we want football players. That's what I'm saying. Is like the interviews, like it didn't. Like, I know he loves football. He's got to love football, but you want to see it bleed out of him. You want to see it like Crosby. And that's the kind of folks they're trying to look for, like people who bleed out football. And if they feel like, the fame is a bit more important for him, then it's like, he doesn't need the money. So it's not like he doesn't have to like play his best to get the most money out of it. So it's like, where is he going to be at? Vegas ain't some place that's easy to live, man. That limelight can get you. It's
especially there like when you got the Bunny Ranch next door. I mean, people are like, making you the playboy of the town, and then So it happened to Jimmy, right? He went out there.
Yeah,
Jimmy G just couldn't handle it, right? He was out
porn star Jimmy.
Yeah, porn star Jimmy, exactly.
Yeah, porn star Jimmy. That dude, bro.
He wasn't. Look, I'm not gonna say he was the worst quarterback for the Raiders, but damn, I mean, it just was.
As long as Jamarcus Russell lives, no one will ever be.
Yeah, exactly. So, so Metcalf, wants to be traded,
Bro.
and of course they have that history with Pete. The only issue, right, is that he wants to be a part of a contender team, and
Right.
we're
far. So I saw this mock draft. I don't know how much of it is true. They said they want a first round pick for DK. A lot of people say that they're definitely not going to get that. But I did see us trading the number 6 pick for DK Metcalf and their quarterback. What's his name?
Smith, Geno Smith.
Yeah, Geno Smith. Yeah, for the first round pick, it would be, and then we would get their their third round pick or something like that. But we'll be getting a quarterback and a number 1
the quarterback receiver and a pick in a third.
Yeah,
we would have 3 picks in the third round. Then we would have our pick.
We'll be trading the number 6 pick.
Adam pick. No, I know.
Yeah, we'll be trading.
We'll be trading, but we would get in return a third round pick, right? Is what you're saying?
Their third rounder, not the number 3 pick. Their third round pick. So the first, second round, and third round pick. Yeah. So no. So I saw that one. Which they said it's not bad because you're getting 2 starters. One of them being the quarterback, another one being the badass receiver. Because in the end, if you don't trade it, you can use that for either Sanders or T-Mac. You'll get the badass quarterback or the badass receiver. Supposedly, with Geno Smith and DK, what you're getting. DK for sure, powerful and fast, and then Geno Smith has the experience with them, and Geno Smith actually plays really good. He's if you're gonna put him and AOC together, I kind of would probably lean over Geno Smith. The only thing that probably will keep me away from it is that AOC is way cheaper, way cheaper than Geno Smith. And Geno Smith's not making like boo money, but I think he's like in the 30 millions, so which is still really good. I think he had a 3-year 90 million contract or something like that.
Okay.
So it's still decent money, and it's for 2 years, or no, it's for 1 year. So it'll be 1 year. If he doesn't work out, we can cut him. Nothing. But that's one thing I saw. I definitely would rather give him a second round pick for that. So, and then maybe use the first rounder. Like if we know we're going to get DK and Geno Smith for like a second round pick, then I'll definitely use like the first round pick on defense, whether it's Mason Graham, Abdul Carter, Travis Hunter, or even Will, what's his name? Will, the corner?
Will Johnson?
Is it Will Johnson? Yeah. I'll use it on him. Yeah. And, because you have DK, so you don't need T-Mac. If you have Geno Smith, you can, wait till next year, or, you take a chance with Milroe, as in given 1 or 2 years. So, that opens up a lot. The DK Metcalf trade request was a curveball. So that's going to be interesting how it works out.
Yeah.
Because they also released their other receiver, Tyler Lockett. He's not nowhere near DK's level, but that's another like debt for us. Another guy that Pete had. I think because Pete actually drafted him too, so he was there for like a long time with Pete, like from the very beginning. So we got some options. We definitely got some options.
Most definitely. Yeah, ESPN has Metcalf first choice going to the Bills, and the second choice going to the Broncos, right? And that would suck because the Broncos, they do have that 1 7-foot receiver, Sutton or whatever,
Cortland Sutton.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then so good. That would be deadly. That would just be deadly. So
that would be
that would get him over the hump. I just hope that
for sure.
Bo Nix throws negative 7 yards again for every game.
For every game, yeah. I want to have 40 interceptions to 10 touchdowns.
This is the one thing, though, we're not talking about is Aaron Rodgers, and it's kind of died off. I don't think he's going to come back. You think he's going to retire?
I don't think he's going to retire. I think either he's going to – well, I'm starting to hear less and less about the Raiders. That's starting to seem like that's not happening. But I can see him, like, waiting to see if somebody gets hurt. You know what I'm saying? Like for example, Patrick Mahomes. Let's say he got injured. Chiefs are trying to win the Super Bowl, so maybe they would bring him in. You know what I'm saying? Like I could see something like that. But other than that, like where is he gonna go? I mean, the Giants. He wants to come back to change his legacy. He doesn't want to leave it on a bad note. Why are you going to go to the Giants? You know, they're not just a quarterback away. You know, we have a better chance than the Giants. You know, we actually have all around weapons, and a way more, better coaching staff. So it's like, but what other options are there? You know, if the Saints release Carr, I don't think they want to do that. It sounds like Devontae wants to stay on the West Coast. So I mean, I don't think the Niners want to pick up Aaron Rodgers.
Exactly. I heard the rumor is that Adams wants to go to the Niners, and then Rodgers wants to follow Adams. Right.
Yeah, and the Niners are not going to do that.
The whole Pat McAfee show all over again, coming out of under the table there.
Yeah. So. All right.
He pops out under the table with a pearl necklace. Exactly.
Right. With shiny lips.
Yeah, man. So those two are tied together, and I don't see either one coming to the Raiders. So that to me, I'm fine with.
Yeah, definitely. Devontae's definitely not coming back. It was just a bad note. And then he was just talking mad shit the whole time he was over there, and it ended up being a worse situation than ours. So yeah, I'm okay with that. Aaron Rodgers, I'm okay either or that as well. He came in, cool. We have weapons. If he didn't come in, cool. Let's see what we can do. He's not going to destroy our culture that we're trying to build.
Yeah, no, he would be. He would just have to take a seat and hey man, follow the rules and there's no BS in here. Pushing and shoving the coach and shit. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, that ain't gonna work with Pete. Yeah, Pete will bench right there.
Yeah, so there's plenty more time to see where these teams are gonna do with these players, man. There's now. I mean, things are heating up, right? Moves are being made. Guys are being signed, and of course, the Raiders had to sign Max because. For sure, man. We want to win.
Yeah, it had to be done.
Yeah, and like you said, in the last 3 years, it's a lesser amount and then easier to trade if we don't end up being the contender that Max wants us to be.
Exactly, and if we are a contender, then we just re-sign him and we push money back. And then towards the end of his years is when we'll eat the cap hits. But if you're doing that, that means we obviously are on time, and we are on plan of becoming a really good team or a championship team. So, yeah, I'm excited. Raiders.
Cool. Yeah, Raider personnel
after dark.
All right, buddy. Peace.
Raiders.